The nurse Eleanor opened her eyes. The night was late, those late hours when most of the residents at the Milton Memory Care Unit were tucked in bed and their dreams drift into the calm silence of the building. The soft hum of overhead lights was the only sound you could hear. The night felt still, almost suffocatingly so. Eleanor was sitting in her room. Frail hands were gripping the arms of her wheelchair. She wore a faded uniform, the kind she had worn years ago when she was a nurse here at Milton. She seemed calm, almost asleep, but her mind, however, was a maze of broken fragments. Eleanor didn't remember how she had arrived here in the chair. It didn't matter. She had been here for so long, hadn't she? She remembered the gentle buzz of the old hospital machines, the patients' weak voices as they whispered for help, the mixed scent of urine and cleaning solutions in the air. There are patients to care for, those in need of attention, those who need her help. She is the nurse, the caregiver, the one who made sure everyone was well. She wheeled herself down the dim hallway. She could hear soft murmurs from some of the rooms, faint voices speaking in their sleep. Some of the patients were restless. Perhaps they needed her help, her attention. What time is it? Is this the time for med pass, or does she have time for her lunch break? She didn't think to question why no one greeted her, why the nurse's station was empty and quiet. She kept moving. There's a large mirror on the wall in the corridor. Eleanor stopped. A strange feeling came over her. She stared into the glass at the reflection. The woman in the mirror was seated in a wheelchair, her eyes wide open with confusion. Eleanor's brow furrowed. The woman in the mirror wasn't wearing the nurse's uniform at all. She was older, frailer, her face marked with time. She reached up to touch her own face, and the woman in the mirror mimicked her, but the look in the reflection was different. Something hollow in the eyes, something distant. Eleanor's breath caught in her throat. No, this wasn't right. She wasn't the one in the chair. She was the nurse, the one who helps everyone, who gives comfort, who makes the rooms a little brighter with every step. She wasn't this. Her hands trembled as she reached forward, tapping the cold glass of the mirror. The reflection did not respond. Her chest tightened. Who is that? She wondered. Panic bloomed inside her, and without thinking, she grabbed the nearest chair and hurled it at the mirror. The glass shattered with a sickening crack. The pieces rained to the floor, catching the light in sharp angles, the reflection no longer whole but fractured and distorted. Eleanor was shaking. Her breath became gasping. She glanced around the hallway. Her heart was pounding. The building felt suddenly unfamiliar, dark. Where was everyone? One of the larger pieces of the broken mirror glinted in the low light laying on the floor. She crawled toward it, trembling. She had to understand, had to know what was happening. She gazed into the shard, her reflection warping within its fractured surface. And in that moment, she saw not the woman she thought she was, not the nurse she believed herself to be, but a shadow. A figure in a wheelchair, lost and confused, eyes wide open in fear, with no name, no purpose. Who am I? She whispered to the empty hall. Her voice sounded strange and thin, as though it belonged to someone else. Her hands searched over her lap and chest. The nurse's uniform, the worn fabric, the feeling of urgency. I need to go. I need to use the bathroom, she murmured. She wheeled herself back toward her room, but the hall stretched on endlessly. Each turn she took only brought her to more empty, quiet corridors, and the silence felt too heavy, too thick. Help! 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 She shouted. She didn't remember how she got into her room. The bed was made neatly. The light was soft, dim, exactly like she used to document in her nursing notes. Dim light in the room for safety. Call light within reach. Continue to monitor. Call light. Where is it? Did they take my call light away so I wouldn't bother them at this time of the night? Eleanor stared at the wall, her mind racing, each memory shattering into pieces. The faces of the patients she had cared for, her friends. Were they gone now? Did she leave them? Or were they still waiting? Eleanor's heart sank, and for the first time in years, she felt the weight of a truth too heavy to bear. She was the patient. She was the one who needed care. She closed her eyes,